Welcome to RIT Talk. We're here to raise awareness about mental health. One way of doing that is to talk about it, and that's what we're going to do. Have a great day, don't quit, and keep pushing forward. And today we're going to talk with Stacy. Go ahead, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, my name's Stacy. Haven't been a firefighter for too long. I'm a mother of 3 kids, and I absolutely love my job. I started super late in fire. I'm pretty old. I'm about to turn 40 actually. So I started, I think, at like 37 when I started the academy. 37 or 36, yeah. So haven't been in the profession for too long, and man, I regret it. I mean, everything happens at its time, but man, I wish I would have started a lot earlier. But just life and things like that. And I had no real idea. I had mentioned it once when I was little before, like, oh, I want to be a firefighter. And my dad always said, you got too much brains, leave that for your brothers, and I kind of set it aside. And then I was in the same job for a long time, worked at a good place, good company, could retire there, paid my bills, all that good stuff. But there was definitely something missing, and I wanted a better schedule for my kids because, like I said, I have 3 kids. They're all young, and I worked with a couple of firefighters, and they were like, "Hey, man, I think you would really like it. I think you would like the schedule, the job itself. I'm a people person. I really like helping people. I worked in the plasma industry for a long time, and almost 15, actually probably about 17 years, and I needed more, man. I needed more, and so I went to the first class. I applied for the academy at AWC, and I went to the first class, and I was like, dude, this is what I want to do. And it was so weird because I've gone to school before. I had gone to school, biochem, different things, and nothing called my attention the way fire did. And so that's what I wanted to do. That's what I wanted to do. And so here I am, 40 years old, about to be 40, and loving it. Absolutely loving it.
Good. All right.
Yeah.
So what, I know you kind of touched on a little bit, but what are some other things that made you choose this profession?
So I like I said, I love people. I have that. I feel like ever since I was young, I always had a different type of connection with people. And the fact that we show up and we don't judge anybody, we treat everybody the same. We show up for the emergency. It doesn't matter what you're wearing, what job you had, what you did in your past. We don't ask you any of that. We show up and do the best we can to help you in your emergency, right? So I think that's what's more beautiful than that. I mean, beautiful is a weird way to put it, but I mean, I don't think there's anything but more that you can give, willing to sacrifice. Definitely it's a sacrifice for your family. Even just, putting yourself in some dangerous situations sometimes, or not knowing the unknown, it's a sacrifice, I think, for everybody, for your family, for yourself. So you absolutely have to love it to be able to do it. And I love it. It's you can't always help, and it's definitely tough, but I thought, what's more beautiful than being able to put yourself out there for somebody else without judgment. That's treating everybody the same. I think if we all did that, life would be great for a lot of people,
Yeah.
And that's something that happens naturally for humans. I think, automatically you like look and you kind of judge, and these situations you really don't. You kind of show up, you look at the emergency, and you think, hey, how can we help? You don't think about the house that you're walking. I mean, you think about it because you have to be aware, but you're not judging off of that. You're there to help in the emergency regardless. Yeah. And then, like I said, what's more, that's just the greatest thing I think that anybody could give anybody. So that itself is for me just amazing, and it gives you a lot of pride. It gives me a lot of pride. I haven't been doing fire for a long time, and there's a lot of people who have way more experience than me, have experienced a lot more than I have, and hopefully with the years, not hopefully, but with the years, I'll get to that level of others. But even just starting I'm proud of what I do. I'm proud. My kids love it, and they I'll catch my daughter being like, random stranger, oh, my mom's a firefighter, and I'm like, yes, Kaya, good job, but because I love it. it's something to be proud of, I think. And it's just, like I said, the best thing you could do for humanity, for your fellow humans, is be there when they need you. And I think that's a great thing, for sure.
Sounds good.
And then the funness of it, right? The toughness of it, the getting beat up. I only have brothers, so I grew up, you know, I'll say beating them up, but they'll say the otherwise, you know. But I love it. I love the toughness. I've always really been into that. I love the camaraderie between you and your crew, and just you and firefighters in general. You know, you'll meet people that aren't necessarily in your crew, or you really won't run into very often, or out of town, or things like that. And it's a different type of, like you said, like brotherhood, like a brotherhood, sisterhood, that you just kind of, you feel that, and you have that respect for each other. And that's just, I mean, I don't think that there's anything negative that I could say about those things. All those things are the things that I like, you know. Like sports, you have your team members, you have the same goal in mind. The discipline, I think, is amazing. The, you know, just all of it. I love it, for sure.
All right. What would be one thing that you would say that could help with firefighter mental health, or first responder mental health?
Mental health is definitely important, right? That's I think we've come a long way with like the 988 number. You know, City of Yuma, where I work, they have a program that if you ever need anything, you know, there's always help available. But a lot of times I think with mental health is we feel alone. We feel like we don't really have anywhere to go, you know. And just then that just comes with the job. I think the fatigue of going to work every day, seeing some of the worst things, you know what I mean? Seeing other people's emergencies, it takes a toll on you. It really does. Emotionally, I, for example, I can handle accidents, things like that. But then like I struggle with like the ones where it's like, oh, you know, you have the feeling ones, like kids that are homeless, or, you know what I mean? Random things like that are the ones that really bug me, because you wish you could do so much more, and there's only so much you can do in those cases. But I think having a really strong support system, whether it's family or one person, you know, a lot of times we find those people within our crew, or within, you know, another firefighter who you're able to talk to, because it's a different type of understanding. I think a lot of times I'm super lucky. I have a lot of support, super lucky. My parents have always been there. My family's always been there. Everybody, you know what I mean? I'm super lucky for that. I'm grateful every day for that. But sometimes there's some things that I think are a little too intense, even for them, you know. Or you tell them and it's not the same, as opposed to, hey, you tell your paramedic that's with you, because you spend a lot of time with the same people, you know, sometimes. So having that vibe where you're able to talk about it, I think helps a lot, for sure. And different avenues, you know, as firefighters, we do have a lot of free time. Our schedule specifically, you know what I mean? I have a lot of free time, so I try to keep myself busy. I have kids, so you got to be strong with them. So I pick up a hobby, you know, work out, get stronger. That always helps. Music. I know a lot of people are really into music, and try to, you know, kind of let yourself out that way. For me, it helps a lot too. As soon as I get off shift, just to have a few minutes to myself to kind of release all that, you know. But it's hard, definitely hard. Mental health, I think, is a tough thing. Obviously, we've seen like rise in suicides and things like that, you know, and you wonder, and you're like, what could have been different? But I feel like altogether everybody's taking we're headed in the right direction. You know, we're headed in the right direction. If, for example, yourself with this podcast, you know what I mean? Something so small as just hearing other people kind of speak about it helps. It makes a big difference, you know, giving people the ability to talk about it, to say, hey man, this is something that we all feel at some point, you know. The majority of us will deal with it at some point. So have that strength to support each other. Definitely helps in all these different avenues that are now put in front of us. You know what I mean? It's not something that people are ashamed of anymore, should ever be ashamed of. But I think it wasn't talked about as much before as it is now. So now people are a little more open, because people are like, hey, it's okay. It's okay to feel this way. It's okay to go through these things. It's a lot. We deal with a lot. You see a lot. Dispatchers, like you said, all first responders. You know, there's a lot of things that we deal with that we have to go home with. And so it's nice that, for example, yourself and all these other groups are providing that, like saying, hey, if you need somebody, we're here. You have those avenues to take. So I think that's super important that we talk about it a lot more, recognize it as a normal thing, and kind of help each other with it for sure.
I agree.
I talk a lot. Sorry.
No. You're fine. No problem. All right. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, just thanks. I think this is a great thing to do. Hopefully more and more people slowly start picking it up. Like I said, it's important to have each other's back as well, because not all of us have that support everywhere else. And even if we do, it's not the same understanding, I feel, as within ourselves. So I think it's definitely important to put that out there. And I hope this continues on, man. I really do. I think you got a great reason behind it. And so hopefully it does what it's supposed to do, help out for sure.
One day at a time.
Yeah. And thank you for asking me to be a part of it. I appreciate that.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for coming on.
Oh, anytime.
All
Definitely.